Hey folks, Chris Vandeviver here from WhyLogicProRules.com, the website that helps you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro 10. Today, I want to dissect why mixing in mono is possibly the best decision you can make for your mixing life. Now, this is not a new concept. There are plenty of videos and folks on the internet that are discussing why mono is the way to go. But there also seems to be this group of people coming up that are suggesting that mixing in mono is foolish, doesn't make sense, terrible idea, and I wholeheartedly disagree with them. What's the difference between stereo and mono? Stereo is two signals. It's left and right, and it's the whole panorama in between, while mono is one signal, and usually it comes at you from straight down the center. Why would we mix in mono when folks have headphones that have a left and a right? Folks have higher end playback systems that can demonstrate the whole stereo spectrum. Well, because honestly, a lot of people are not listening in optimum stereo playback systems. They're listening on iPhones, off their laptop speakers. It just doesn't sound good. It's coming at them in mono. But more importantly, the reason that this makes the most sense for your mixing life is because mixing in mono prevents any of your tracks from hiding. You're forced to deal with all of it straight down the center. You can pan. You're going to pan to the left, to the right, wherever you need to. But being forced to contend with all of your tracks straight down the center means that you have to deal with the fact if that track is muddying the mix, you've got to do something about it. Or maybe your level adjustments for your drums just are way too loud or way too quiet. It's just, there's nowhere to hide, no rock to hide under, no far left or far right to kind of disappear into. You got to deal with it all. Now, mixing in mono does not mean don't pan at all. That's makes no sense. You're going to pan. It may seem counterintuitive, but we're going to pan, we're going to adjust faders, we're going to do some preliminary mixing on this mix, all in mono. To make sure that this mix is in mono, I'm going to use the gain plugin. I'm going to enable this mono button right here on the stereo output. And now everything is firing down the center, even if I make panning adjustments. So let's listen to this mix first, and then I'll start adjusting things. It's going to be a little loud. Prepare yourself. Okay, as you can hear, it is loud, it is muddy, it is all over the place. So we got to deal with this. Again, I'm just going to do preliminary mixing. Going to start with the faders, going to work on panning, maybe some EQ and compression. Let's just see where this takes us. I'm going to start with the drums, and let's go. Okay, doing all right. You can see I've been panning. I'm panning guitars around. I'm still working in mono. Let's start adding some EQ. Let me make some preliminary adjustments here. Okay, I'm going to add a touch of compression and then we'll compare and contrast. So let me just use that. I'm going to be real quick with this. Okay, now let's compare this in stereo. So let's turn off the gain plugin. Here we go. Is this a perfect mix? Of course not. I have a lot of work to do, but I think we're headed in a positive direction. Again, mixing in mono has helped us deal with everything coming at us. Like there's nowhere for these tracks to hide, so we have to deal with them. And then I can turn off the mono button on the gain plugin on my stereo output, and we can fine tune from there. Let's hear before and after. So obviously I've made fader adjustments and panning adjustments. We'll leave those as is, but I'll turn these plugins on and off. Here we go. Let's start with off. Here we go. Those symbols are a little sharp, so I would tuck those down, but I feel like I'm off to a great start. So I hope that was helpful to you. If it was, as always, I highly suggest subscribing to the YouTube channel, Why Logic Pro Rules, or subscribing on the website itself, whylogicprorules.com. Every week, I'm providing posts, new videos, emails to help you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro 10. Thanks so much.